I want to talk about Frenkie de Jong. All right. I know that many of you guys want me to talk about Frenkie de Jong because of what Joan Laporta said. And the fact like I have no like okay, look, first of all, let me talk about what Joan Laporta said, right? Because here's the thing that gets me very um kind of confused. Okay, so it says Barcelona president says club has no intentions of selling Frankie de Jong. So let's talk about that, right? I know that this is something that you guys just want me to talk about because many of us do want to see Frankie de Jong continue at Barcelona. So here's the thing, right. Um, okay, so it says here, Barcelona president says club has no intentions of selling Frankie de Jong. Now let's continue. Barcelona were widely reported to be almost pushing Frenkie out of the door this summer as they aim to balance their books, a financial crisis that has reached epic proportions. But as quoted by reporter Rashad Rahman, Laporta has now said he will do everything in his power to get the 25-year-old to stay. I'm going, and this is what Laporta did say. I'm going to do everything I can in my power so that Frenkie stays here. But there's also a salary issue that would have to be adjusted. Frenkie is considered as one of the best midfielders in the world by all the experts. We are happy to have him. There are clubs that want him, not just United. We have no intentions of selling him. He does want to stay. Um, okay, so look, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm like, so you're telling me that everything about Barcelona pushing to sell Frenkie de Jong was fake? Like, why is Joan Laporta saying this, right? And that's the thing that gets me so confused is like, okay, so now moving forward, when it comes to Frenkie, was everything that we have been hearing about this player fake this whole time? Like what if this whole time Barcelona were actually just trying to negotiate with Frenkie and try to lower the his salary for the next season? Because here's a problem, right? Barcelona are not going to be paying 13. I think his next salary is going to be 19 million euros per season. That is something that Bartomeu has created. Like Frankie's fourth season at Barcelona, on the contract it says that by his fourth season, he's going to get paid 19 million euros. That is something that Joan Laporta is very well aware of. Very well aware of. He knows that Frenkie de Jong's like his contract says on his fourth year, the one that we're going into right now, he's going to get paid 90 million euros per season. Barcelona in no way are going to be paying that amount, right? The majority of the players that are within this club right now, the average salary is around 6 to 8 million euros. Average. Ansu, Pedri, Araujo, average wise, they get paid around 6 to 7 to 8 million euros. That is the average salary. Even when it comes to Rafinha, Barcelona have agreed with Rafinha that they're going to be paying Rafinha 6 million euros plus variables, right? That is the average. 19 million euros though? Are you serious? That is like paying for three different players at a 6 million a year salary, right? So Barcelona is definitely not going to do that. And I think that assuming that, like, see, this is the thing, right? Because I don't want to say that everything that we have been hearing is fake because that would be such a waste of time, so much headaches, right? But I'm gonna just assume that Barcelona have officially started negotiating with Frenkie de Jong over a salary reduction. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna forget about Barcelona trying to push Frenkie de Jong away from this club because Laporta just said, he literally just said, I'm going to do everything I can in my power so that Frenkie stays here. But there's also a salary issue that would have to be adjusted. I assume that the agent and the player have no problem reducing the salary because Frenkie is not someone here to make the most money. He is here to make history with FC Barcelona. Um, it's just so crazy to see how like we have been kind of psyched, right? Like maybe I think maybe the real story is that Barcelona have been. This is what I'm assuming. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is factual. I'm just right now. I'm kind of like I'm speculating. I'm assuming that this whole time Barcelona have been negotiating with Frenkie and the agent and trying to work out a deal, a new fresh deal on how they can move forward together. Like they want to be together. Barcelona wants to continue to have Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong wants to continue to be at Barcelona, and they're probably negotiating. Okay, how can we reduce your salary? What can we do? Because it's not easy. A contract is a contract, right? And Barcelona's not going to be paying for any damages and blah blah blah, right? So like all of those legal things. And I think that in the midst of all of that, with Frenkie negotiating with Barcelona, Manchester United and teams like Chelsea, two clubs who are very interested in a player like this, they're probably saying, "Oh, I see that you guys are having a problem. I see that this is going on, and that I've been hearing stories about Barcelona wanting to sell Frenkie de Jong. What's going on, Joan Laporta? Are you guys interested in selling Frenkie de Jong? Here's a bid that we have for you guys. We're willing to offer you X amount of money. We're willing to offer Frenkie 12 to 14 million euros per season, right? So that is probably what I assume is now going on. Maybe Man U and Chelsea have heard about what's currently going on in this club, and maybe now they're trying to say, "Hey, I see you guys trying to negotiate a brand new contract. We're kind of interested. What do you think about this bid? Would you accept 85 million euros? Would you accept 100 million euros? 120 million euros?" And so it's very tricky. Because another part of me says, why would Barcelona want to renegotiate a deal with Frenkie, knowing that they're going to be having a very overinflated midfield? Like, you still need to think about the growth of Gavi, right? So what are you trying to do here? Like, you want to keep Frenkie, you want to bring in Bernardo Silva, but you need to give minutes towards the players like Gavi. You need to give the minutes towards players like Pablo Torre. And then you also question, then why did you bring in Kessie? Because that is only going to even overload the midfield even more. Because there needs to be a direction. Like, you need to either have a plan A or a plan B. But right now, what I'm looking at right now is Barcelona saying yes, 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 and yes. There's no like plan for the midfield, right? Because a couple of players are going to be paying the price for having all of them together. And because if Barcelona say, okay, let's keep Frenkie, we reduce his salary, no problem, let's keep him. What if in the future, like going into this upcoming season, we have Gavi and Pedri and Bernardo Silva rotating all the time, and then Frenkie does not see any minutes? How do you think Frenkie's going to be feeling, right? And we still haven't talked about the up and coming great talent of Pablo Torre, someone who I think has great capacity to do so many great things with this club. And then the only solution I see with this is Xavi saying, I have an idea with Frenkie, and that I'm no longer going to be using Frenkie as an interior. I want to use Frenkie de Jong as a pivot. I want to place him there, and I want him to play with Bernardo Silva and Pedri. I want Frenkie to be in that pivot position and play with Gavi and Pedri, to play with Kessie and Pedri, to play with Kessie and Gavi, Bernardo Silva and Kessie, and Frenkie being that anchor in the midfield, the heart of that midfield in the pivot position. That is the only way I could see this playing out. But if you're going to tell me that you want to keep Frenkie and you want to also bring in Bernardo Silva and try to develop Gavi, try to develop Pablo Torre, you're going to have about 1 to 2 players really paying the price for having such an overinflated midfield, right? It's a serious problem. Those are the type of things that I have been thinking about, but based off what I have been hearing here, it does seem like that Barcelona want to keep Frenkie, and now we have to rethink everything about how this Barcelona team is going to be run, because everybody has to develop, everybody has to continue to get better, everybody needs minutes. You can't be having these players and not use them and barely use them. So yeah, that is the latest when it comes to Frenkie. Right now, Barcelona's main idea, according to Joan Laporta, who has confirmed it, they want to keep Frenkie, and they're looking to negotiate with this player and the agent to see how they can reduce the salary. That is what I assume Barcelona is going to be doing, because again, that is what Laporta said. I'm not making this up. It literally says, but there's also a salary issue that would have to be adjusted. He's willing to talk with Frenkie and the agent to reduce the salary in order for Frenkie to continue. And hopefully, right, if everything does go well, if Xavi has a great plan, Frenkie stays here for the next 5 to 8 years at the very least.